Hi, good morning. Thank you for the responses yesterday. About two-thirds of the class completed the task. Sorry, Monday and yesterday. Great responses. Goldilocks and the Three Bears is a very interesting story, mainly because that we read it to children as young as 2 and 3, or something younger, obviously. And I think once you revisit these stories when you're a wee bit older, you get something deeper and more appreciative of the intricacies of what's actually going on there. I also love the stock. I hate stock images, but I love this one because I feel like him, the big one. Um, Goldilocks wandered through the forest and stumbled across the bear's home. And some of you, when you picked up on this, only two of you actually said you supported Goldilocks in this one, but the reasons you gave were actually very good. That the bear shouldn't have left the home unattended. That the one of you actually highlighted that the fact that she is human and the bears aren't human. That the humans should have more rights or more entitlement kind of thing than the bears, and that presents quite a few problems for us. That mainly because we start viewing species differently, and we start viewing like almost like a higher order sort of thing, like a humans there and everything else underneath us. It's interesting the bears have a house because the bears having a house means that the bears are intelligent of sorts. So we're supporting the subjugation of an intelligent creature. So there's a lot we can get from Goldilocks and the Three Bears. Some gave fantastic reasons of why the bears were right, and some gave what I understand to be good reasons, but well, let me give you. I can't put any reasons on screen because I don't want to kind of share people's work without their permission. But some people said that the bears were in the right because Goldilocks had threatened their child, and Goldilocks had threatened their home, and they had the right to protect their home in case their child gets hurt. Perfect, absolutely perfect. One other person put because Goldilocks was trespassing. Now, Goldilocks trespassing is a factual statement that she just is and that doesn't lead us to any evaluation. It doesn't lead us to any judgment of whether or not Goldilocks or the bears were in the right or the wrong. So we have to try and stay clear of factual statements, and that's kind of what I want to focus on today, about how to make a judgment. If I say the sky is blue, am I judging the sky being blue? So if I say the sky is blue, am I saying that, does that not hint that because the sky, that I'm pointing towards the sky, that the sky is blue, that noting that other things could be blue, the sky is blue, noting that there might be other colours the sky could be. So depending on where the accent falls in the sentence, the meaning of the sentence can change quite significantly, and it's something we pick up on in higher philosophy. So just by saying that Goldilocks is trespassing, Goldilocks is trespassing, Goldilocks is trespassing, Goldilocks trespassing. The emphasis changes the meaning of the sentence with it. So in order to try and remove that ambiguity, we have to add more detail to it and give proper reasons for our beliefs. And that's what I kind of want to focus on today, if I can get the next slide up. So the basic answer structure for us is, for an evaluative question, is you have to state your opinion. It's things we've been working with you in core for all of the 4 years you've been in core. We constantly asked you what you thought and what your opinion on a range of moral issues and philosophical issues and religious issues. So first thing, I just state your opinion, that you either for it, against it, but you're not unsure. And I want to try and get that away from your minds as you move into higher, because you're not unsure. And we kind of let you be unsure at core because we want you to build and grow and your opinion to evolve over time. But if you think about it, if I was to ask you your opinion on capital punishment and you say, I'm not sure, that lead me to ask you why you're not sure. And you would say, you'd give me both sides of the argument. So it's not that you're unsure, it's that you both agree and disagree with the issue. So try and stay away from unsure, unless you are unsure. Unsure means that you don't have the knowledge inside your mind in order to make the correct decision or give the correct answer. And that's fine. I'm not sure why. I can see both sides of the argument. Well, that's because you agree and disagree. I'm not sure why. I don't understand that. That's different. We can fill in the gaps there with you. So I want you to kind of get that clear in your mind. You can either be for it, against it, or a little bit of both. You can see both sides, sort of thing. And so try and stay away from this kind of thing unsure, that because you're confident and you're intelligent, so try and write that way as well. So the first thing to do is to state your opinion, and this will become a bit clearer later on. So then we get onto your reasons for your opinion, and we do need to back up everything we say with reasons. And there's language we use for different problems, so religious, moral, and philosophical problems. So that's not to say these are exclusive, and I'll get to that at the end. So a religious belief can be true or false because the person just simply believes it, and that might not be a great reason, and I don't think it's a good reason personally, that because we're saying that anything can get, just because someone believes it, then it's true, and that's not a good reason to support your opinion, that because you're basically saying that oh, I am for capital punishment. Why? Because I'm just for capital punishment. I just think it's right. We need more than that. Would you be comfortable in a trial with the jury saying that I find you guilty? Why? I don't know, I've got a feeling about you. Didn't listen to any evidence, just got a feeling that you're guilty. No. The consistency. So what we look for that is the consistencies or inconsistencies of belief. So does the story complete? Does the story make sense, that the religious story, that is, or are there inconsistencies that for example, I've got that if God God punishes sometimes, but not always, then some people find this a weakness. There's in Genesis 1, on day 3 plants are made, but on day 4 the sun's made. So like how do we reconcile that kind of thing? The benefits. So some people are religious or not religious because they don't find any benefits, or they do find benefits. So it gives them hope, it gives them drive, it gives them passion, it gives them love. Or the opposite, that not being religious gives them a greater sense of the world and what the world actually is, etc. The source as well, that you might find the source unreliable. Historians will come alive here, that you might find that there's no evidence, or you find the source I was going to say inconsistent, but I can't point up there, that you find the source too old, is secondary, that it's contradictory, etc. So yeah, when we judge a religious belief, these are some of the things that we might want to consider. When we judge a moral issues are way easier to actually kind of give your opinion on. Trust me. So something can be wrong because the intention behind it was wrong. So that if we think of sort of medical experimentations, or right sort of thing, and if we think of medical experimentations, that if the intention behind it is evil, it doesn't matter what kind of good we get out of it. That if we think of like sacrificing a child, or harvesting organs from prisoners, kind of moral experiments, that then the intention is to try and save lives, though. So surely that makes it a wee bit more right, no matter what they actually did. So the intention of something can change whether or not the act is right or wrong. The consequences is where the ends justify. I mean, this is quite intuitive. You've done this through RMPS and core anyway with us. So it's the act is good. So charity is good because people get out of poverty, they get food, etc. That charity is also good because of the intention, because the person doing it is getting something out of it. The act itself can just be right or wrong because of it, and we'll consider this a bit more in class, and I don't want to get into too much detail with it, especially at 9 a.m. But if we consider the act of rape, we can look at the intention of it, and we say it's wrong because the person intends to violate a human personhood. And we can also say the consequences are wrong, that because the trauma the person then needs to live with for the rest of their lives. But most of us would come down we would accept them absolutely as true, but the act is wrong. The act itself is wrong because it's violating an individual's rights and personhood. It's violating their ability to choose that, and the intention consequences feed into that, but the act itself is wrong. Something can be wrong because the rules say it's wrong. So if we look at driving over speeding, or if we look at like alcohol, drug use, that things are wrong because as a community we decide it's wrong. We get together and we go, nope, you can't do that, but you can do that, sort of thing. Moral issues are way easier to write about, and that's what we're going to be focusing on today. Philosophical issues are difficult to evaluate initially, but the more you do it, the easier it becomes. So a philosophical question such as does God exist, or do we see the same color, or is this real? So if I say this is real because I can see it and touch it, then I give a reason for it. So my judgment is supported. But then we have to decide that are the reasons good enough? we can disagree or agree on the philosophical question because it's true that we just find the answer like true. Like Paris being the capital city of France is true, and 1+1 = 2 is true. That the relevance, so that we can find there's really good bits in the design argument, which we're going to go on to, where Hume or Russell. Sorry, 9 o'clock and my mind's gone blank. Sorry, that either describe it as building a house. That Hume, that building a house and thing, because the universe, we view God building the universe like building a house. Like, and that might not be a great analogy. So the relevance of Hume's analogy there is questionable. The bias that the person putting forward an argument may be biased. That René Descartes wrote about truth and the knowledge of the world. And you can tell his religious bias all the way through the early parts of the text. Even though in one part he does say that it's assumed that God is evil, but he doesn't. That there's definitely a bias through Descartes' text. So these are 12 kind of things that we should consider, or we can consider. I know it's a lot, but it's, you'll generally find your mind will go to like 2 or 3 of these and kind of stay on 2 or 3 of these. Anyway, so these aren't exclusive and these aren't exhaustive. And what I mean by that is that just because the consistency is in the religious part of it doesn't mean that philosophical problems can't be challenged on consistency, or moral problems on consistency. The benefits of something, it doesn't mean that these are interchangeable throughout the entire circle kind of thing. And I've just broken it into categories so it's a bit easier for when you start off with it. Second thing as well, it doesn't need to be just one thing. These can be moved about. So these can be overlap as well, and they can be put into the same sentence. But it's to try and get your language a wee bit more evaluative, and when you're attacking a problem, that you're given proper reasons for doing it. So what I'd like to do today, and this is you for the rest of the week, going into Monday when Miss Rafferty will start some Buddhism with you. I'd like to go onto any news website, find a story where someone, a human, no, it doesn't need to be a human. I'm okay with it not being a human, actually. So just find something where someone did something. That's really, really clear, and it'll help you a lot. So just find an article where find an article where someone did something. That I'd like to write a 1-sentence summary of what happened in the story, who's in it, what was done, and more importantly, are there any reasons we should be looking at to mitigate it? Imagine if you were on a jury, are there any reasons in the background that sort of help explain why the person did it? Then what I want you to do is to give me, look at the evaluation sheet, that thing I've just went through, which is on the post, and give me your opinion on it. And then I want you to give me reasons for your opinion. And I want you to try and draw on the sheet for your reasons. So do you support the act that's been done? Do you challenge the act being done? Or do you both agree and disagree with the act being done? Kind of thing. That's what I would like you to do. The other thing, and I'll put posts for this on the main thread, is that how do you want to do this? Like, what do you find when you're being at home? What are you finding is helping you learn better at home? What would you rather us do? Would you rather us give you like a bulk task to do that, and you work through it through the week, or would you rather little tasks and sort of build on it? We miss discussing with you. We really do, and you know it's what we've done for all the way through core, and we will get back to that where we have this back and forward, and I genuinely miss hearing your opinions and your viewpoints on this, and arguing with me and challenging me and giving weird opinions about how property is theft. Thanks for that. So I'd like to know that. The other thing I'd like to know is what you've been up to. Have you been watching anything good? Is there any recommendations? Anything that you would like? Sorry, anything that you think I would like? That we have started The Office for the second time, and it is as painful to watch the second time as it is the first time. So anything that you're watching, let us know as well. So do the tasks and have a great weekend, and someone will see you next week. See you later.